On our website, you'll find lots of things to do, places to go, and one of my favorite places to go in Kingfield is the Stanley Museum. And I'll tell you what, it is a wonderful time. And Deb is here from the Stanley Museum, and I want to welcome you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Always nice to see you. And I know people certainly they recognize that name, Stanley, that's for sure.
They certainly do.
But tell us where the museum is and what the inspiration was for it.
Okay, the museum is on 40 School Street, in Kingfield. It was established in 1981. They were actually going to take the building down to create more parking for the town office next door. Group of people got together to save the building, which was designed by the Stanley brothers and supposedly paid the balance of the school budget. As always, they ran over, and the Stanleys paid the remainder of that. So the museum was started in 1981 with a collection of Stanley memorabilia, and we've grown. We now have 6 cars there. 4 belong to the museum. And we have quite a bit on photography. The Stanley brothers actually made their money in photography.
Right.
The cars were kind of an afterthought. And so we have quite a bit on photography and violins. Mm-hmm. They built violins. And their sister Chansonetta was a wonderful photographer. We have a nice display of her work there too. Mm-hmm. So
that's funny. I mean, such a diverse amount of talent that they had. What do you think drew them to Kingfield?
Well, their family lived in Kingfield. Their father ran a general store. At the age of 16, one of the brothers built his first violin. When they were 11 and 12, they created things in town. They were entrepreneurs at an early age, and it just went from there. They eventually moved their business down to Massachusetts,
right.
Where things were more readily accessible, but it all started in Kingfield.
Now, in the summer and during certain special times, you'll see a Stanley steamer tooling around.
We have them out and about. We're usually there, of course, for the Kingfield Parade, Kingfield Pops. Last year we had a week-long car tour that was based in Kingfield. This year we have a 2-day seminar at the University of Maine in Farmington and an auction. And so a lot of our people will be there because from there we'll move over to Vermont for a car tour. Mm-hmm. So you'll see a lot of cars around in August. But we've been invited to the New Hampshire Auto Dealership Convention. Mm-hmm. We're asked to go to a lot of places. The problem is the people that drive the cars still work for a living, so we're kind of limited to what we can do.
Right. When is the Stanley Museum open? The
museum is open every day, Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 4 until the 1st of May. And then we're open every day except for Monday from 11 to 4.
Now, there's a lot to see there, and photography, and of course the violins, mm-hmm. and the cars. Are you still discovering, or are people still bringing things that the Stanleys had created to the museum? We
still get things. Once a month or so, I will get something from someone who wants to know if it's something that we have in our archives. They want to share it. Old books about the cars, all kinds of things. They're always coming up. It's always exciting.
The cars are legendary, and the fact that they are still running today mm-hmm. is a tribute to the Stanley brothers, right?
It certainly is.
And to see them is a lot of fun because there's a little bit you got to shake it back and forth, right? Get
move
it going.
A little, yeah.
Move it a little.
Takes it a while to get them fired up. Half an hour to 45 minutes to get them fired up, to get them up to enough pressure for them to really move.
But they're a powerful car, and they
very powerful.
And they were disqualified from the Mount Washington uphill climb, correct?
They climbed Mount Washington.
Yeah, and they kept winning.
Yes, they did. They did. There's the iconic picture of one of the twins and his wife going up Mount Washington in an open car. I can't imagine it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to go up in any car, let alone a Stanley.
Yeah.
And the problem was more so coming downhill.
Sure.
To keep them slow enough. So, yeah. Pretty neat.
Now you have some cars on display in mm-hmm. there, and knowledgeable staff. I mean, yourself and the others that I've encountered there at the museum have a wealth of knowledge.
We try to. We're learning all of the time. My husband and I own a car, so I'm somewhat familiar with cars.
Oh, do you?
I haven't driven one in a long time because I almost put our first one in the ditch.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'd like to try it. We have a newer car, new car to us,
Yeah.
smaller. I would like to try that. But we're very knowledgeable. We're reading all the time, always learning. They're just fascinating.
Yeah.
They really are.
Now, I've been through some of the pictures. Tell us about some of the pictures and archives that you have there.
Well, we have a lot on display. Right now, we have quite a bit actually on Chansonetta, the sister who was a photographer. We have a lot of her work on display and a lot on photography. We have some of the cameras. We took some of Chansonetta's dry glass plates that she hand painted and enlarged them so that people could appreciate the work. And I really think Chansonetta's work is amazing. So we have more of a display with her work. We will be having a display on World War I at the museum sometime this summer. We're always trying to change things around and upgrade and improve things.
Now, it's not easy. It's not on the main drag. So when you come into town, you turn there at the outlet store
Yes.
and you head up the hill. It's kind of up on the hill near towards where the first Governor King's house is, right?
Winter's Inn?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
The King Estate up there.
Oh, the King Estate. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah. You turn just beyond the post office to the left. That's School Street, and we're up there next door to the town office.
Yeah. And it is a beautiful building with the giant, majestic pillars up
Oh,
there.
it's right. And they designed that. That's like their homes in Massachusetts.
Really?
It's a little different than that you'd see in this area, but that was designed by the Stanleys, as was the Inn on Winters Hill.
So diversified talent.
Yeah,
There really
yeah.
were some talent
That was
there.
designed, that was a wedding gift. Mr. Winter had the Stanleys design that as a wedding gift for his wife.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course the plate, when you say the photographic, it was the photographic plate that they invented, correct?
Right, the dry plate, they improved the speed on it, getting it produced, and so that's where they really made their money. Finally sold out to Eastman Kodak.
And let's make cars.
Oh boy, yeah, they made 10 to 11,000 steam cars.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's between 500 and 600 left in the world that we know of. I've been having a conversation with a gentleman that has 9 that
Well,
some of us knew about, but not a lot.
Yeah.
So you're always finding them. You never know.
yeah.
You know?
And to keep them running, you must have to actually machine parts, right?
You do, and that's a lot of the men that have cars make their own. There are a few people that do make them and manufacture them. That it's pretty hard to find.
Yeah.
It's like a big organization or club. You know, I don't want to say club. We're not a car club, but once you get into this, you get to know each other and where to go find things.
Right.
That's why this auction's going to be neat in August, because people will be selling some of their parts extras. These guys like to hold on to their things, you know, 2s, 3s, and 4s of things that they might need someday.
Well, I'm a kind of a pack rat like that
Oh,
myself.
yeah.
You never know.
Oh, yes.
So I'm sure that information is on your website.
Yes, we have a new website. We're pretty excited about it. We're still building it and adding on to it. But we're pretty excited to have that on there again.
Fantastic. The
Yes.
Stanley Museum, stop by and visit because it
Please.
is really just a wonderful place to visit and just to look at all the different things that they created, what minds they must have had.
Amazing, just
Yeah,
amazing.
And vision that they had.
Yankee ingenuity at its finest, we say.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deb, always a pleasure to
Thank
see you.
you.
Thanks for being
Thank
here.
you.
And I want everyone to go down and visit the Stanley Museum because it is just a fantastic place. And leave yourself some time because once you get there, you're going to find a lot of things that you'll find interesting there, and some friendly staff as well. And you are certainly one of them. I appreciate it, Deb.
Thank you.
All right, Deb Smith, and from the Stanley Museum.